Believing in yourself often starts with something simple, a small win. These small achievements may seem insignificant on the surface, but they hold a tremendous amount of power when it comes to shaping your self-confidence. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by a big goal or doubted your ability to reach a dream, focusing on small wins can help you shift your mindset and build the belief that you are capable, strong, and resilient. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with self-belief is because they focus too much on the end goal and forget the steps in between. Whether it's landing a dream job, writing a book, starting a business, or making a major life change, the outcome can seem so far away that it feels unreachable. This can create a sense of paralysis or fear. But when you break your goals down into smaller tasks and focus on completing them one by one, you create momentum. Each small win is proof that you're moving in the right direction. Imagine learning a new skill like playing the guitar. If you tell yourself you want to become a master musician in a few months, that goal can feel intimidating. But if you instead focus on learning one chord today and practice switching between two chords tomorrow, each small success builds your confidence. You're no longer dreaming about the end result without action. You're participating in the process. With each milestone, no matter how minor it seems, you send a message to your brain, I can do this. This process isn't just psychological, it's also chemical. Each time you complete a task, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. It reinforces the behavior that led to the reward. That feeling of accomplishment is addicting in a healthy way. It makes you want to keep going, which creates a positive feedback loop. You start to seek out more small wins, and your confidence continues to grow. Self-confidence isn't something that appears overnight. It's built from experience. When you prove to yourself repeatedly that you can take action and follow through, even on a small scale, you begin to trust yourself more. You become the kind of person who doesn't just talk about doing things, you actually do them. And that identity shift is key. You start to view challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to stretch your abilities and rack up another win, no matter how small. Another benefit of focusing on small wins is that it teaches you how to manage setbacks more effectively. When you only focus on the big picture, any failure can feel devastating. But if you're measuring progress by small actions, one misstep doesn't ruin everything. Instead, you've already built up a base of successful steps that remind you of how far you've come. That resilience can be the difference between giving up and bouncing back. Creating a habit of small wins also helps quiet your inner critic. Most people have a voice in their head that says they're not good enough, not ready, or likely to fail. But each time you take a small step and succeed, you start to quiet that voice. You create evidence that contradicts the negative thoughts. Over time, this rewiring of your inner dialogue builds a more confident, supportive mindset. To apply this approach in your life, start by identifying a larger goal you care about. Then break it down into tasks that can be completed daily or weekly. These tasks should be small enough that they don't feel overwhelming, yet meaningful enough that they help move you forward. For example, if you want to become more physically fit, a small win could be doing 5 push-ups a day or going for a 10-minute walk. If you want to become a better writer, it might be writing 100 words a day or journaling for 5 minutes. Celebrate each small win. This doesn't mean throwing a party every time you take a walk, but it does mean recognizing your effort. Acknowledge the discipline, the courage, and the commitment it took to show up. This recognition matters. It builds your internal validation system, so you rely less on praise from others and more on your own sense of progress. It's also important to track your progress. Whether you use a journal, a calendar, or an app, seeing your consistency over time builds a visual record of your growth. This can be especially helpful when your motivation dips. Looking back and seeing how far you've come can reignite your drive and remind you that small steps really do add up. In the end, building self-confidence through small wins is about making belief in yourself a habit. It's not magic or luck, it's the result of intentional, repeated actions that reinforce your sense of competence and worth. No matter where you're starting from, this approach is accessible to everyone. You don't need to wait for a major breakthrough or a life-changing moment. You just need to start one small win at a time. The people you choose to spend time with can have a profound impact on how you see yourself, what you believe is possible, and how much you grow. If you want to build lasting confidence and achieve meaningful goals, surrounding yourself with positive influences is one of the most powerful steps you can take. While it's easy to think that self-belief is only an internal journey, the truth is that our environment shapes us in ways we often don't realize until we step back and examine it closely. Everyone is affected by the energy and attitudes of those around them. If you're constantly surrounded by people who are negative, critical, or dismissive, it becomes difficult to stay motivated or maintain a strong sense of self-worth. On the other hand, when you're in the company of encouraging, driven, and kind individuals, their mindset rubs off on you. Their belief in you can often become the foundation for your own belief, especially in moments when your confidence wavers. This is not about needing others to validate you, but rather recognizing that support and inspiration from others can act as fuel for your own growth. Positive influences don't always have to be your closest friends or family. They can be mentors, coaches, colleagues, or even people you follow online who share uplifting ideas and actionable insights. What matters most is that they help you grow, challenge you to be your best, and genuinely want to see you succeed. These people don't drag you down with gossip, complaints, or judgment. They lift you up with encouragement, constructive feedback, and belief in what you're capable of becoming. The quality of your environment matters just as much as the quality of your thoughts. You can be working hard on developing self-belief and positive habits, but if you're spending most of your time in a toxic environment, it's like trying to run uphill with weights on your shoulders. Over time, that pressure can wear you down. That's why choosing the right company is not just a social decision, it's a personal growth decision. It's about curating your space in a way that protects your energy, supports your aspirations, and keeps you aligned with who you want to be. Often, the process of surrounding yourself with positive influences involves making difficult choices. You might need to spend less time with people who drain you, even if you care about them. That doesn't mean cutting them off completely or judging them. It means being intentional about your time and emotional investment. It means recognizing that your mindset is your responsibility, and you owe it to yourself to guard it. This is not selfish, it's essential. You can't give your best to anyone else if you're constantly being pulled down by negativity. Sometimes people worry that seeking out positive influences makes them seem inauthentic, or that they're only chasing success. But surrounding yourself with growth-oriented, optimistic individuals isn't about pretending everything is always great. It's about choosing to be around people who see problems as opportunities, who are solution-focused rather than complaint-focused, and who believe that progress is possible. It's about finding people who are honest with you, but who speak to your potential instead of just pointing out your flaws. Positive influences also help you stretch your comfort zone. When you're around people who are doing meaningful work, chasing big goals, and improving themselves, it inspires you to think bigger. It gives you permission to dream and to act on those dreams. You begin to normalize ambition, resilience, and growth, rather than staying stuck in a mindset of fear or limitation. You also get to witness real life examples of how others have overcome setbacks, navigated challenges, and stayed consistent, which makes your own journey feel more doable. There's also a feedback loop that happens when you build a circle of uplifting influences. As you grow more confident and capable, you become a positive influence for others. You start contributing to the energy of your environment rather than just absorbing it. This shared support creates a powerful network where everyone benefits. You challenge each other, learn from one another, and celebrate each other's victories. You no longer feel like you're trying to do everything alone. You feel like you're part of something bigger. If you're not sure where to start, begin by observing how different people make you feel. After spending time with someone, do you feel energized or drained, inspired or discouraged, supported or judged? The answers to those questions will help you identify who aligns with your best self. You can also be proactive by joining communities, whether online or in person, that are centered around growth, creativity, or service. Surrounding yourself with people who value learning, kindness, and action will naturally pull you in that direction too. In the end, building belief in yourself isn't just about what you say to yourself in the mirror each morning. It's also about what you hear from others, what conversations you engage in, and what energy you invite into your life. You have the power to choose your influences, and by choosing wisely, you create an environment where confidence can thrive and where doing cool things becomes not just a possibility, but a natural outcome of who you're becoming. Seeing yourself succeed in your mind before it happens in real life is more than just daydreaming. It's a powerful tool that shapes your beliefs, sharpens your focus, and fuels your motivation. Visualization is a mental practice used by high achievers in every field, from athletes to entrepreneurs, and it's something anyone can learn to use effectively. When you visualize success in detail, you train your brain to believe that what you want is not only possible, but already within reach. This mental rehearsal can make a real difference in how you show up, how you handle challenges, and how consistently you move toward your goals. One of the main reasons people give up on their goals is not lack of effort or talent, it's lack of belief. The mind often creates barriers before the outside world does. You might have a dream or an ambition, but if deep down you don't truly believe it's possible for you, you'll hesitate, self-sabotage, or never fully commit. Visualization helps to rewire that belief. When you take time to picture yourself achieving your goal clearly and vividly, you begin to build familiarity with success. What once felt distant starts to feel natural. That mental familiarity becomes a form of preparation. Your mind starts to expect success instead of fearing failure. The power of visualization lies in its detail and consistency. It's not enough to quickly imagine the end result and move on. You need to experience it in your mind as if it's real. That means seeing it, hearing it, feeling it, engaging all your senses. For example, if your goal is to speak confidently in front of a large audience, you can visualize yourself walking onto the stage, feeling calm and grounded. You can hear the sound of your voice, clear and strong, and see the expressions on the audience's faces as they engage with your words. You can imagine the applause, the feeling of pride, the satisfaction of delivering your message well. This mental rehearsal conditions your mind and body to respond with confidence when the real moment comes. Visualization also helps you stay focused and motivated during times when progress feels slow or obstacles appear. It's easy to get discouraged when you're working hard and not seeing immediate results, but when you regularly return to a mental image of your desired outcome, you remind yourself why you started. That emotional connection can keep you moving when your energy dips. It creates a sense of purpose that goes beyond discipline or habit. It taps into your deeper reasons for wanting to grow, improve, and succeed. Another benefit of visualization is how it influences your behavior. When you clearly see the version of yourself who has already achieved your goal, you begin to act in alignment with that vision. You make choices that support that identity. If you visualize yourself as someone who is healthy and strong, you're more likely to make decisions that reflect that lifestyle. If you see yourself as a successful writer, you're more likely to sit down and write, even when motivation is low. Your actions begin to mirror the image in your mind because you're no longer trying to become something. You're acting from a place of already being that person. This shift can also reduce fear and anxiety. Much of what holds people back is uncertainty about how things will turn out. But when you've already seen the success in your mind many times, the unknown feels less threatening. You develop a sense of control, confidence, and familiarity with what lies ahead. You're not walking into the future blindly. You're walking into a vision you've already prepared for. That reduces doubt and increases your willingness to take bold, consistent action. Visualization can be part of a daily practice, even if it only takes a few minutes. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and focus on your goal. Picture it in as much detail as possible. Don't just see the end result. Imagine the steps that lead there, the effort you put in, the learning and growth along the way. Feel what it's like to succeed. Let yourself truly connect with that version of you. This isn't about wishful thinking or fantasy. It's about mental training. Just as physical training builds your body, mental imagery strengthens your belief and motivation. It's also helpful to pair visualization with action. Seeing your success should inspire you to take steps toward it. Use the emotion and clarity you generate in your visualization sessions to fuel your next move, whether that's writing a page, sending an email, making a call, or simply staying focused for one more hour. Visualization alone doesn't replace effort, but it makes that effort feel more purposeful and rewarding. Ultimately, believing in yourself is about creating a bridge between who you are and who you want to become. Visualization helps you build that bridge in your mind so that your belief becomes stronger than your fear. When you see yourself succeeding over and over again in your imagination, you create a powerful internal drive that no outside obstacle can match. That belief, grounded in your own vision, becomes the engine that carries you forward, one step closer to making what you imagined into something real. No matter how inspired you feel or how clearly you can see your goals, none of it matters if you don't take action. The truth is, action is what turns ideas into results, and it's often the one thing that separates those who succeed from those who simply wish things would change. But action doesn't always come easily, especially when doubt creeps in. You might question your ability, worry about failure, or hesitate because things aren't perfect. These feelings are normal. Everyone faces them. The difference lies in how you respond. Choosing to take consistent action even while feeling uncertain is one of the most powerful habits you can build. Most people wait until they feel ready before they begin. They want the perfect plan, the perfect timing, or a sign that everything will go smoothly. But that moment rarely comes. Confidence doesn't always come first. Action often brings it. Each time you take a step, even a small one, you prove to yourself that you can move forward despite fear or doubt. That proof adds up. It strengthens your sense of control and your belief in your ability to handle whatever comes next. Doubt is not a sign you're unprepared. It's a sign you're growing. If your goals matter to you, it's natural to feel pressure or uncertainty. But letting those feelings paralyze you means you give power to fear instead of possibility. Taking action in spite of doubt doesn't mean you ignore your fears. It means you choose to move anyway. You learn to act with fear, not wait for it to disappear. Over time, this becomes a kind of quiet courage that carries you through tough moments. Consistency is what transforms scattered effort into real progress. One burst of action followed by long periods of hesitation won't take you far, but repeated effort, even if it's imperfect or messy, builds momentum. When you commit to showing up daily or weekly, you create a rhythm that keeps you going. This rhythm becomes part of your identity. You stop thinking of yourself as someone who might succeed and start seeing yourself as someone who follows through. That shift in identity is powerful. It changes how you approach every challenge and how you talk to yourself when things get hard. Taking consistent action also gives you the opportunity to improve through experience. You can only plan so much. At some point, the real lessons come from doing. When you take action, you get feedback: what worked, what didn't, what needs adjusting. This learning loop helps you grow faster than any amount of thinking or researching. And when you accept that mistakes are part of the process, you stop fearing them. Instead of seeing failure as something to avoid, you begin to see it as information. It tells you what to tweak, not that you should quit. Another reason consistent action matters is that it builds trust in yourself. When you say you're going to do something and then follow through, you teach yourself that your words matter. That internal trust is essential. It helps quiet the inner critic and gives you a steady sense of strength, even when external results are slow. You stop needing constant motivation because you've developed something more reliable: self-discipline. And discipline is what keeps you going when excitement fades. It's also important to recognize that consistent action doesn't mean constant intensity. Some days you'll have more energy than others. Some days you'll make big strides, and other days you'll only be able to do a little. That's okay. What matters is that you stay in motion. Think of it like climbing a mountain. You don't have to sprint the whole way. You just have to keep climbing one step at a time. Progress is progress, even when it's small. Having a simple system can make it easier to stay consistent. Break your goals into manageable tasks. Focus on what you can do today, not what you have to accomplish in the next 6 months. Keep your commitments visible. Use reminders, calendars, or checklists. Celebrate the fact that you showed up. These small practices help you stay on track and feel a sense of accomplishment, even during tough stretches. Eventually, the doubts that once felt so loud will start to fade into the background. They may not disappear completely, but they lose their power when you stop giving them control over your actions. You learn to coexist with uncertainty and move anyway. And that is where real growth happens. It's not in waiting for perfect conditions or a boost of confidence. It's in proving to yourself over and over again that you're capable of showing up no matter what. When you look back, it won't be the moments of hesitation that define you. It will be the times you moved forward despite them. Those are the decisions that shape your future. Taking consistent action in the face of doubt is more than just a habit. It's a declaration. It says that your dreams matter more than your fears, that progress is more important than perfection, and that you are willing to become the person your goals require. In the end, belief in yourself is built one step at a time, and every step counts.